all the questions in OI part, both the workbooks, both the booklets. And after that, the PPTT also went well. The GD was the main portion where I focused, because that is where we can show that we have the skills to interact in the group. And so that so because stories are, we were shown a bit of hazy picture. So because of that, I was a bit confused that as to what to write, because you said that in hazy picture it can be some smoke or fire and anything which we see, and so that was like, it was getting negative. So that took a bit of time. So I wrote, sir, I tried not to write
Describe some pictures, whatever you remember.
so,
Just describe some pictures, like what kind of
sir,
pictures.
sir, the picture was, sir, two people were there. One was in civilian dress, and the other uniform of a soldier or any Sainik. And he was at the back with a weapon, and in front, and they were both together. Matlab, the uniformed one wasn't running after the civilian person. So, and on the other side of the picture, it was half hazy, half blur, so it wasn't clear. So I made it like it, an IPS officer, he is dressed as a civilian and he's on a militant activity. He's going to catch militants, he's on an round.
Okay.
So I made it something around that. So in the group discussions, stories were around forest officers. So the group story was totally different.
Okay.
And so the first day went well. The screening was fine. I was screening. Then after that, the second day in the morning, it was the psych test. So obviously everybody was scared because the time is short, and we all know that we have to hurry up with our writing. So, sir, the TAT stories were all well. 3 to 4 pictures were what we had practiced, and VAT, sir, VAT was also fine, sir. I missed out on 2 to 3, but then I tried to cover them up later. And SRTs were also, sir, we had practiced a lot, so nothing was different and nothing was new.
Okay.
And sir, then SD, sir, psychology also went well. But I was a bit scared because I could only do 40 SRTs. So that was the point that was making me worry, that you said that at least do minimum 50, and that I couldn't do. After that, so my interview was on the second day only.
Okay.
And so my
So
interview was
what all do you
really
remember of your interview, or just describe what all do you remember? Was it the CIQ wise, the way you were having the CIQ practices here?
Yes, sir. So same.
Okay. Same CIQ. Okay. So you're comfortable with the answers?
Sir, very comfortable. So few questions were even same which I had been asked in the mock interview over here. So,
Okay,
sir, it was really good. So the meaning of my name. So that was the first question when I entered. He asked me. And then how was Lucknow? Is it your first time to Bangalore? And what do you see here? Any differences? And after that, he started with the PIQ, the CIQ questions. And the CIQ questions, sir, I had prepared it all. So that was all well. And then later he moved on to the current affairs part and news part. And so that became a rapid fire type of series, because he was asking, like, he started off, it was in the hobbies portion that I said that so reading, and so he said that don't you read newspapers, only novels? So I said, no sir, I read newspapers also. So he asked me, okay, then tell me any 4 law related recent news. So I told him 4 news, and after that it started that, acha, then do you know about CAA? I said, yes sir, then tell me something about it. So I had prepared a lecturate on CAA and I started off.
Great.
So he stopped me in the middle and said, okay, now do you know anything about string of pearls? So sir, DRS sir had taught us so much on that. Sir, I started off with that. Then he stopped me in the middle. All right. So do you know anything about the 7 sister states? Sir, that was the question you had asked me for my interview to the class. So, sir, I remembered that, and he said, "Then tell the seven sister states along with their capitals." Sir, maybe he saw my happiness that I knew the answer, so he added that, and also their CMs. So that was the point. I was like, I know 2, 3 CMs, but not all. Sir, I got confused in the Northeast. So he said that, all right, then tell me. I told all the states and capitals. And then he said that, okay, tell any 5 CMs of states all over India, except Uttar Pradesh and Delhi.
Okay.
So, sir, that I told 6 of them. Then about UP specifically, sir, the elections are coming. So what all is happening in UP? So that was the point. So all the inaugurations, the international airports that were being made. So that was basically so the news that every day the PDF we get. So your tick marked news cutting. So that is what. And sir, after that, it was later than PIQ and CIQ based.
Okay.
And it lasted for around 35-40 minutes only, because after that, sir, my interview was at around 5-5:30. So, and after me too was, but I did not feel like that it took less time, so it was a bad interview. So it all went really well.
Very nice. So how was the GTO ground practices? You are here for 7 days.
Yes, sir.
Could you find
Sir,
solutions?
GTO was very good. Sir, yes, sir. Sir, I was only finding solutions. So, sir, matlab, sir, in PGT, sir, I started off, and it was, sir, the first thing where I thought that the GTO would have got an idea about me was, so the first obstacle was a bench, and it was really near the start line, so it was less than 4 feet. But because it was high, and I immediately climbed it to find an idea of moving forward from that obstacle. And so all my team said, they started like, get down, only 4 feet straight you have to walk, you don't have to climb up.
I see.
So I could not fight with them. I just looked at them and I said, no, it's fine. But they all continued, no, you are doing wrong, just get down, get down. So sir, I got down. Sir, I cannot fight against them in front of the GTO. Sir, I got down. Then everybody started finding way from the other route, the route B. So they could not. Then they were putting that stress idea, that
physical weight, physical idea, physical force.
So then the GTO interfered and said that, why don't you climb on that bench? It is less than 4 feet. And who said you can't climb it? You only have to walk straight. And then everybody was looking at me, and so my expressions were, bola tha, chad le. So then 2 or 3 of us climbed up. And then we moved forward. And sir ideas, the golden rules. So they were really
You remembered the rules?
Sir,
the back of your mind?
Yes, sir.
क्लास में डांट खा खा के याद हो गए थे मतलब.
Yes.
तो मतलब वो जो रूल्स बताए थे वो लग गए ना? PGT 3 में भी लग गए?
सर 4 तक लग गए.
4 तक
सारे हो गए. 4 तक लग गए.
How was the GOR? Physical difficulty कितना था? GOR कर लिया?
Sir, GOR was interesting. Sir, GOR was a fun race.
Okay.
Sir, and sir, I was in the first 2 only. Sir, half group task was fine. Sir, the GTO simply divided in the first 5 and last 5 chess numbers. And half group task was also fine. At one point, the GTO stopped us in the middle of the obstacles, and he said that the ones still at the starting line, they have to come forward and use some idea. So at a point, I was on the middle obstacle only, and the people on the start line, they were in the behind. I was ideas which worked, and then everybody moved forward.
So what was the lecture
half
rate?
group task went like that, and sir, lecture it was fine. Sir, lecture it, sir, I spoke on stock market, and I had prepared, but I had prepared it a bit of mix. Sir, I spoke for 3 minutes. Sir, I did not stop in between. Sir, I knew that 3 minutes is the key. I have to keep speaking for 3 minutes.
Yes.
And sir, the last 30 minutes, sir, my confidence, sir, that graph, sir, it went up. And
Okay. So I'm
And sir, I
happy
put
that
data, I gave
you
examples.
remembered those small things which I showed you, and that probably in the back of your mind. It is very good to know that you remembered those small things, that graph which I had shown in the class. So good.
So that
So how was
graph
it?
was, sir, on the last day in the online class, you told us on
Yes.
the board.
Yeah.
So,
And how was the command task? What kind of command task you got?
sir, command task was very nice. Sir, initially, sir, the GTO talked with me around 1 to 2 minutes while walking towards the command task. And then she explained the command task. Sir, it was a simple start line, finish line with the 3 ways, ABC routes, and with a movable obstacle in between. And then I called and said I started off. I did it with one route. Then she said that, all right, commander, you and your subordinates can walk on the ground and show me the idea from the other side. So, sir, I did that. And then also the recovery portion, that was, she also said, then how will you recover that? One subordinate left. So that was the idea. Then she said that, all right, show me the idea from the third way. So
Oh,
then from the third way, so that also I did using a pole. So it was a pole. So I started with using that, so tying the rope
Garth,
around
Garth.
Garth idea.
Oh,
Then she said that, assume that this whole pole is blue, it is not white, so you can't tie
okay.
anything.
Okay.
Then I said, all right. So it was with that bully, sir, putting a straight bully to balance the plank.
Okay. Right,
Sir,
right.
I did that, and she was like, all right, commander, you did it well in your time. So, sir, command task was really good. She, in the between, she was trying to put pressure that your time is running up, commander, hurry up, hurry up. But, sir, I did not panic. I knew that I will find a way. Just I am applying the rules.
Uh,
So that was fine. The command task went well.
Very nice. Good. And how was the conference? Were you asked some difficult questions or it was?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, the chess number before me, after she left the conference hall, sir, I was called after around 4 to 5 minutes. So I knew
Yeah.
that I might be the one who is being discussed on. So I went there and they started off with the French. Sir, I had learned French.
Okay.
So the president only started off, Bonjour Tejaswani. And sir, that took me a second
Oh,
to
wow.
so that took me a second to change my mind, and I was simply glancing at him that what happened, from where did I hear this? So sir, I replied back, and then he asked me, how are you in French? Sir, I replied that also. Then he said, all right, now let's start in English. I say,
Okay.
yes, sir.
That was nice. That was nice.
So, so
So
then
what was the
after
feeling
that,
when
so
the
they,
result was declared? What was the feeling when the result was declared?
sir, I started crying.
I see. And all
Sir,
three of you
because
were
sir,
there, three AMA
yes,
students.
sir, when all the candidates were called out, and sir, three of us, sir, we three were staring at each other that, मतलब तीन ही थे और तीनों हो गए recommend. Sir, it was really
Obviously. And now what we'll do is we'll invite any questions. She has described our whole journey, right? So anybody wants to ask, especially girls, if you want to clarify anything, right, you can ask. Seldom you find, though in this batch also we have some recommended candidate, but she's just come from SSB. The memory is fresh. If anyone has any questions, you can just keep your mic on and ask.
so the individual obstacle portion also, that you told that at home we can get a rod and a rope
You
installed. Sir, I
tried
got
that? You
that,
did it?
and that really helped. Sir, I did
Oh,
Tiger's Leap, the 10.1.
oh,
I did
beautiful.
it.
Did it. Okay, great. That certainly, you see, these small actions that puts a overall impression on the GTO that,
Sir,
okay,
I got a bar and a rope installed. So my father was seeing like, तुम्हारे recommendation तक तो क्या हो जाएगा? सब कुछ rod भी लग गया, रस्सी भी लग गई.
see, this is what, I was telling the other day, that same thing I tell all the students. So how many of you put it? Like she's telling, I didn't know this, that she's done it,
Sir,
but she
because
did
in the
her.
offline, sir, when I tried it, sir, I fell down the rope. I remember, and Afsana ma'am told that you have to build your arm strength because it is
Oh,
really
I
less in
forgot I'm
yours.
wearing a
So, sir,
warm legging. That's why I'm feeling hot.
Aditya,
Yeah.
mic is on. Mic is on, please. Okay. So, so after that, you realize that you need to really pull up your socks.
Yes, sir.
Of
Yes,
physical
sir.
fitness. Good, good. Okay. So it was nice interacting with you. I think the class is quite overwhelmed. They are not having any questions to ask you. So I'm thank you just to thank you that for joining us, and we wish you
Thank you, sir.
this time that you not only have cleared, we wish you that you get a good merit position. I know it is JAG
Yes,
is
sir.
very difficult, but I pray to God that all three of our students who have qualified, in fact, four of them have qualified, three with you and one with Hatri before you. So four
Yes,
of
sir.
you have
Yes, sir.
qualified, and
Sure.
I think there are 4 seats.
Sir, two.
Two, 2 seats are there. So from my side, I can wish for all the four. Rest, God is to decide which
Yes,
two He
sir.
will send in. But at least the both who go should be AMAs. That's what I can say. Right.
Yes, sir.
Best wishes to you, Tejaswani, for coming and joining us and
Thank
sharing
you,
your
sir.
experience.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, so that was Tejaswani, who has shared her SSB experience, very recently recommended from Bangalore 24 SSB. So I was surprised. I was expecting a lot of you to ask questions, but everybody was quiet, so it's okay. But otherwise, you keep asking के sir किसी से बात करा दो, किसी से मिला दो. जब मैं लेके आता हूँ तो आप एकदम overawed हो जाते हो कि अरे क्या पूछे. Don't feel like that. You are working hard. She'll also sitting like this, like you are last batch. Okay. So only sincerely note down the points. See, ऐसे ही हम डांट नहीं मारते आपको आज PPT में